Okay, so for all you naysayers out there, those of you that quit this series because it wasn't any good but have come back to see a review because you want to know what happened in the last episode, you missed out. Yes, you did. So let's talk about this episode here, this Quantum Leap season finale. So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and first of all, let me thank you for joining me on this journey of Quantum Leap. I will be back next year, or later this year when season 2 begins. Yes. So, wow, this episode here, yes, the final episode, episode 18 of this first season of Quantum Leap, and everything has come together. We've got the answers, a lot of the answers that we've been hoping for. So obviously, quick breakdown of the story. This episode here, obviously it started in the year 2051, where we come to find out that the Quantum Leap program has been destroyed, essentially. We find out about Martinez and what's the crack is with him. In the future, all society's problems have been blamed on Quantum Leap. This is their get out clause for everything that's gone wrong. They think that Quantum Leap going back in time, tampering with time, has created the issues in society of today. And thusly the government have sent Martinez back to shut down and destroy the Quantum Leap program because they think that it will erect it will erect all of the wrongs. It will make them right, everything that's gone wrong. And in the original timeline, Martinez does kill Addison, and then we're in another timeline, a timeline where Ben has stepped in to go back and stop that from happening, and all this sort of stuff. And while there, obviously he meets up with Ian, who's waited around for him, and he gets a piece of code off of Ian because he isn't in the future for long, and the Quantum Leap Accelerator is trying to pull him back because he shouldn't be there. It's outside of its parameters, so he's fighting to stay there. But he goes back, he memorises this code, and he goes back and he gives it to Ian. Ian gets a hold of it. Ben then jumps to 2018. He gets pulled to 2018, and this is on the day of his first date with Addison. So he has to make sure that everything goes right because he's now affecting his own timeline, and this can cause a paradox and all this sort of thing. So he goes on this first date, but he deviates from his own timeline because Martinez is about and he wants to keep her safe. So he tells her the truth. He drags her out of this dinner that they're having, tells her that he is from the future. She rings Magic, but lo and behold, Magic is actually Martinez at this point because they know that Martinez has leapt into this timeline. They hold him prisoner, they hold him hostage. He manages to convince them that he's not, that he is Ben Song from the future. They allow him to go after Martinez. Martinez sets the Quantum Leap Accelerator off. They have this fight. They fall into the accelerator, and then they're being pulled through all of their past meets. So you go back to the asylum, you go back to the battleship, you go back to the Western era, and they're fighting it through, and this culminates in obviously what seems to be the death of, or the potential death of, Martinez, who is now lost to time. I don't think that means we might not, you know, they can write him back into it very easily. Now this episode here, it had so much to offer. There's so much going on. Every player, every key player gets a part to play. Jan gets in on the Quantum Leap hologram action again. She gets in there to help Ben through. You've got Ian with his code and him being connected to his other selves. And yes, it was Ian that did leap in the past. We found that out. Ian did do a leap. but it was for the right reasons, all this sort of a thing. This episode was great. It was grand. It was grandiose. There were so many questions answered. So much came into the fray. So much came together that we did get pretty much all of the answers that we wanted. The episode does end with what seems like Ben coming home. We see the Quantum Leap accelerator activating. It seems like someone is coming through. I mean, me personally, I was hoping for this twist. I'll be honest, that we did get to see who came through, and it wasn't Ben. It was actually Sam Beckett. And Ben's still out there. That would have been fantastic. I don't know if this episode, they knew in December that they picked up for a season 2. This episode does end very much like a season ender, or a finale, what could be a finale to the show itself, with Ben completing his mission and Ben coming home. So we'll be interested in that sense to see what happens going forward with season 2. It opens... It leaves its questions there on how will we do this. Am I sad that we didn't get to see Sam Beckett? Not really, not really. The thing I'm saying about this show and why people should, those who dismissed it early on and left it, is because I think the show has found its own footing. I think it's found its own voice in the Quantum Leap universe. And it's doing right by that. I mean, it would be great for Sam Beckett to show up at some point and finally get answers to that. And who knows, maybe in season 2 we will get that, because, it might be deemed from Scott Bakula's perspective that, the show's doing okay, so let's go in and give it something. It's nice to have Janice back in the show, see her helping out in the Quantum Leap headquarters. And there are mentions of Al and this sort of a thing. So, a strong, solid episode, an exciting season ender. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of it. I thought it was fantastic. The threat was there with Martinez, the threat of Ben's life being altered, him and his relationship with Addison being altered. I think that they now work well off of one another. I get the chemistry between them. It does work now. These actors have all fell into their roles. They're very comfortable in the roles that they're performing, unlike they were at the beginning of the show. Yeah, I think people went into the series expecting too much. I think they wanted Quantum Leap of old back, but this has given Quantum Leap of new. And I'm sat here excited to see a second season. I am enjoyed that this has got a second season. It's continuing because, it's gone from being somewhat mediocre to a fantastic show. The end of this season, the latter half of this season, has just crept up and up and up, in my opinion. So, a fantastic season closer. So I'm going to leave it there. But I ask you, are you coming back for season 2? Are you going to be there for season 2? I hope you are. I'll be there for season 2. I will be reviewing season 2 like I have every episode of season 1. I'm excited for it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Did this episode go the way you wanted it to? Didn't it? Did you want Ben to have a whole episode story set in the future? Did it not play out to your expectations? How do you think that final leap, him coming home, is going to go? Do you think that in that season opener he's going to get pulled back out? Do you think that it is going to be Sam Beckett turning up potentially? Who knows? It would be great to see that though. But anyway, this is AJ. Again, thank you for everyone who's joined me on this journey, who's watched, who's commented, who's subscribed. I really appreciate it. Do subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the channel, especially because if you're a Quantum Leap fan, like I said, I will be back for season 2. I shall see you all later. Take care. Goodbye.